here. It was very, very rare that I got a clap, so what you just did was fantastic. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. Well, I'd start by saying it's fantastic to see David Harris here tonight as well. I'm delighted to say that David's really start his AFL career. And the thing that I noticed about David tonight is that he hasn't changed. He's still the same humble, shy, terrific young man that he was 6-7 years ago when he first started the AFL level. And that quality of humility and that quality of being quite quiet and a little bit reserved, I really love that in our umpires. Yes, we have some extra little guys, but David goes about his role in such a way, at the end of the game, you don't even know he's out there. And when umpires do their job and you don't know they're out there generally, we think they've done a really good job. So congratulations, mate. Keep up the great work. And so thrilled to see where you've come from and where you're going. I'd like to thank Gary, Leon, and Roger, and Richard for inviting me down here.
Have we got a fire, have we?
Yeah. I'd like to thank them for inviting me down here tonight. The last few years I basically got back into football, so I'm just doing a lot of things. So it's always nice to get back to umpiring because I had that 14 years there. I'm very passionate about it. I also want to congratulate everybody in the room, particularly all the young umpires and the coaches and the people involved in umpiring for your involvement. Quite a few years ago, it wasn't the sexiest thing to be was an umpire, but I'm really pleased to say over a period of time, people now respect umpires more, people now recognise the contribution of umpires, and I think probably everybody in the room probably understands that it's a far better place to be now than what it might have been 15, 20 years ago. And maybe that I'm drawing a bit of a long bow there, but I certainly felt that over my time at the AFL, that as each year went on, we got a little bit more and more respect out of what the umpires were doing. Umpiring can be very difficult, as the people who do it know. It can be very challenging, and it can be thankless. However, my 14 or 15 years in the role also showed me through the umpires just how wonderfully rewarding it can be and how fulfilling it can be. And the boys often say it is the best seat in the house. You're sure they're under enormous pressure, they've got to run hard, they've got to make quick decisions, they've got to deal with the stresses and pressures that go with everything they do is being scrutinised very heavily, but they do it really well. And through all that pressure and challenges, I know that the umpires also say they love it, and I picked that up in what David was saying tonight, that sheer joy of being involved in something that he absolutely loves. This league services three major competitions, ballarat, Maryborough and Castlemaine, Central Highlands. I mean, to me, they're grassroots football organisations, and to be involved with this Ballarat area, it is a football heartland. So it's very important in this district. So to have this group charged with the responsibility of servicing all those leagues is a very big responsibility, the one that I'm sure that you're right up to. I can remember bringing the umpires here in 2009 for a camp. We stayed up at the university and we had Steve Monaghetti come down and speak with the group, and the following morning he took us for a run. And the reason why I brought the umpires to Ballarat for our pre-season camp is because we always hold it around the long weekend in January, and it's always bloody hot. Wherever we went was bloody hot. So I had this perception, like most other people, that Ballarat was cool. But we got here and it was 44 degrees, and we were stuck in these dorms out there that had been locked up since November. So it was like living in an oven for 4 days, and I didn't realise how hot it could get here. And then I came back to watch my sons play footy here at another time. It was -1 degree. So certainly from an umpiring perspective, it's very challenging with the different conditions you have to run in. My background was playing and footy coaching, as Richard went through. I never dreamed that when I finished up in the AFL with Richmond, I planned to go to South Australia to coach a club called Woodville West Torrens. So I was right down the track of going across there to coach them. But before I did, I got a call from Wayne Jackson and Ian Collins from the AFL saying, we'd like to have a bit of a chat to you about a role at the AFL. So I went in and I thought, what's this role? I said, look, it's an umpiring role. It's to manage the AFL umpires. And my initial reaction was, I don't know much about umpiring. In fact, I don't even take that much interest in umpiring because my focus is on playing and coaching. They convinced me to take it on. My wife wasn't keen to move again. We moved all around Australia, coaching and playing and what have you. We had kids doing VCE at that time, so we decided to stay with them. They said, we'll do it for 2 years. And we eventually stayed 14. And the thing that I leave umpiring knowing is that myself personally have a far better respect, appreciation and understanding of the role. That 14 years was a real eye-opener for me. And through that period of time, I developed a very deep respect and admiration for people involved with umpiring because I knew that a lot of the time the umpiring fraternity was the poor relation in the football world. You had your players, you had your coaches, you had your committees, you had your supporters, sponsors, whatever it might be, and then there was umpires. And I was telling Richard the story today of my first year in the job. We went up to Queensland, Brisbane were playing someone, and after the game I didn't know what to do. Normally with a club, you go back to the opposition rooms, you go to your social rooms. So I said to the umpires, we'll go to the Brisbane Lions social rooms. We were ready to go in, we were told we weren't welcome in there, it wasn't for the umpires. So that was the sort of introduction I got to AFL umpiring and finding out that there was this bit of a war between the umpiring fraternity and the football fraternity. So we learned that pretty quickly and we decided to try and change some of those things. Now Richard asked me to speak about what changes I've picked up over a period of time and what we tried to do and influence in my time with the AFL umpire. When I first started the role, it was about the time we started to mic the umpires up. So it wasn't for television, it was for us as coaches to be able to hear how the umpires were communicating so that we could give feedback about effective communication. What I didn't realise was how much abuse and how undisciplined the players were towards our umpires. Every time they blew the whistle, you F and so, and expletives left, right and centre. And I was shocked. And I said to our people, does this always happen? And they said, yeah, it does. I said, why? They said, because we've been told we've got to have it fixed in, we can't be seen to be precious, it's just a part of the game. We've got a bit of abuse, but if it gets really bad, we'll deal with it. And I said, well, we call an F and so and continually scoring that all day, to me that's over the top. So we decided right there and then that we're going to change that. But it was going to be difficult because the media, the clubs, the fans, everybody had this expectation. The umpires just had to have a thick skin, get over it and get on with it. But workplaces aren't like that. And this was our umpire's workplace. So on Monday morning, I went straight into Andrew Dimitri's office. I told him, Andrew, I've got a plan. I'm horrified by the abuse our boys cop. I want to do something about it. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to pay more free kicks. I want to pay more 50 penalties. We want to start reporting guys who are over the top of their abuse. And when I say over the top, what they're probably all the time now is free kick them and report them. He said, look, I'll back you. He said, if it's going to help keep umpires, keep the environment better, I'll back you 100%. So from there, we had to talk to the umpires on the Tuesday night. We pulled out some examples and got them to listen and said, do you really think that is an appropriate thing to be said to you? I mean, all you're doing is doing your job and trying to do it the best of your ability. You've got people swearing at you from the moment you're walking the ground to the moment you finish. And I said, no. And they said, well, what are you going to do about it? And I said, well, we're going to change it. So from that moment on, I rang the clubs. I rang each coach, I rang each football manager, and I said, from now on, we're going to take a really strong stand. It's in the rule book. It's in the rule book. Abuse to umpire, free kicks, 50-metre penalty, you can report. I said, we're going to follow that through very, very closely. We developed a signal. Who can show me what the signal is when you get abused on the footy field? Umpires? Good guys. Well done, well done. Like the old policeman stop. And that hadn't been used before, but hey, you're abusing. You didn't have to say anything. Everyone knew when the hand went up, some player had said something inappropriate. So then, we put out a memo to the clubs, so the clubs dealt with their players on the issue, and they backed us 100%. They were just fantastic. People like Parkin, people like Neil Danaher, she were just wonderful and said, we'll back you 100%. We understand where you're coming from. We put stuff out to the media to let them know as well. They didn't take it as kindly. They thought we were being precious. They don't get it. They just don't get it. So in the end, the outcome was the following weekend, yes, we paid a number of free kits, we paid a number of 50s, certainly a lot more than we've been playing, but over a 2 or 3 week period, it basically stopped overnight. You would not believe the change. So the previous year where there had been something like 100 free kits for abuse or reports, I think it was 10 or something reports, and X amount of 50-metre penalties, the following year we had 6. And that wasn't so much that, the umpires relaxed on it, the players just stopped. As soon as our boys got strong and started paying 50 metres, the club stopped straight away. So we're really proud about that, because that means today we can have 12 and 13-year-old girls and 14-year-old boys, we can have older gentlemen or ladies in the goals and what have you, umpiring and not feeling as though they're being trashed. They're being respected. They can go about their business. And when I hear a 17-year-old umpire does a grand final at this ballarat level, that's music in the ears, because obviously there's a respect for the umpire in this region, and that's come about because the players know they just can't abuse umpires anymore. So hopefully that's filtered through everywhere all over Australia, and your umpiring environment is far more enjoyable, far more friendly, far more, a safer place for you to be, and you can enjoy your craft a lot more. I also saw things like assaults, like just shocking behaviour towards umpires. This abuse thing was the first thing we did to try and stop that. And I can tell you stories about a group of junior umpires over in Tasmania, because I was caught up in all this stuff. I used to get all this information after every weekend from what happened all over Australia. 2 female boundary umpires, 2 goal umpires and 1 field umpire, after an under-18 game, were chased off the field. Chased off the field by supporters, up the race, into their rooms, and the girls and the boys had to jump under tables, fearing that they were going to be assaulted. And that's just not good. We had a 56-year-old field umpire over in South Australia called Paul Fitzgerald. We again, at 3/4 time, a boozed fan on the fence said to his mates, I'm going to go out and deck that umpire at 3/4 time, which he did, broke his jaw, put him in a coma, had him in hospital, just because the guy on the booze thought it would be good fun to smack an umpire. And we saw that. In my travels around junior clubs, so if I wasn't really going Friday night or Saturday or Sunday, I'd go and attend a local game. And I attended a local game this day, and there was a young umpire out in the middle of the ground, and I could hear the coaches going ballistic game, I could hear supporters going ballistic game. He was only a young fellow, he was probably 14 or 15. At quarter time, I went over to him. Now, he didn't know me, and I shouldn't have done what I did because I didn't have a big on or anything like that, but I was hoping the people would recognise who I was. So I went across to this young fella. There was no support people there to help him this day. I said, how are you going? I said, I'm finding it really tough. I said, how many games you done? He said, oh, this is my 2nd game. And I said, look, I know you're copying that event and what have you, but keep going, keep working hard, keep your head up. Just understand what you're doing is good, and you just got to keep doing what you know is right. At half time, 2 of the coaches followed him up the race, screaming at him and abusing him. I followed the young fellow up the race, and by the time I got in, he was crying. He was crying. And he said, look, it's the 2nd game. He said, I don't want to go back out there. I said, you need to go back out there, son. You need to go back out there, because although this shouldn't be happening, this is going to make you tougher. This is going to make you stronger. If you go back out there, I want to get on the other side of the fence. If anything happens, I want to be up. I told him who I was. I said, I'll make sure you stay. And he stayed out there. I'm really proud to say that boy's still up on. He's up on senior football in the middle of the football league now. But they're the sort of stories that I was getting in the early days in the role, because people didn't get it. That umpires manage the game. Umpires run the game. In my opinion, they're the most important people on game day. Now that might sound egotistical from an umpiring point of view, but they have to manage the game. They have to know the rules. They must make sure it's fair. They must make sure it's safe. They must make sure it's continuous.